the camera. Give it off, down.
Give it. Ah, those fucking aliens, they never quite learn. No matter what technological edge they have on us, they'll never beat a little thing called the human spirit. I'm guessing they're going to get a heaping helping of that little lesson in Skyline, the new alien invasion film that's coming out this week. But if they need a little extra credit, I've put together this little video to help show them the error of their ways. Welcome to a remake rematch feature for the granddaddy of alien invasion movies, War of the Worlds!
Menacing all mankind and every creature on Earth comes the War of the Worlds.
Now, if you're not familiar with our remake rematch feature, we're going to take a look at both the 1953 and 2005 versions of War of the Worlds, compare them on purely objective grounds with science, and try to pick out the better of the two films. So let's get started. First category is better science. There's nothing I like more about the 1953 version of War of the Worlds than its love of science. And what kind of science does it love?
Evidently there's a shift in their spectrum.
Science.
Well, there's some fellows fishing at Pine Summit. I think they're scientists.
Well, you fellows have to figure it out. You're scientists.
So what you're saying is they're scientists. They could be anthropologists for all these people know, and how's that going to help? The movie ups the ante by having a pastor basically commit suicide while trying to communicate with the aliens, but swings around at the end by having everyone hole up in temples and giving God all the credit for saving humanity.
We were all praying for a miracle.
And Spielberg's version? Well, the first thing the aliens blow up is a church, but after that, not much is made of sciencey subjects, although the movie does get extra credit for allowing humans to use grenades and rocket launchers to take down a few of those damn dirty aliens. Edge goes to the original movie. Next category up is Suavest Hero. Now, there really couldn't be two more different protagonists of these two movies. Dr. Clayton Forrester, perhaps best known for giving a name to the mad scientist from MST3K, is a dashing, debonair scientist, able to easily woo the prettiest lass in town and impress the yokels with his knowledge of how fucking magnets work.
See that? My watch is magnetized.
He can fly a plane if poorly, calms down hysterical ladies with the lightest of touches, and is even sent to monitor atomic bomb explosions.
If the A-bomb failed, evacuate all cities in danger of attack.
Ray Ferrier, on the other hand, is kind of a dick. His kids barely like him, his only skills involve a marginal amount of car repair knowledge, and he spends the vast majority of this film running in fucking terror. Kudos to him for blowing up a walker with grenades, but overall he can barely keep his kids alive, let alone himself. And the edge goes to the original film. And the next category is Best Death Ray. Now, I remember watching the older version of this film on VHS back in the 80s and being wowed by the high-tech laser death ray that the aliens brought to pound us into submission. Looking at it now, though, it's pretty clear it's just a firework they pointed at the screen alongside some primitive mat work. It's fun, but it doesn't hold a candle to what Spielberg and his crew of slave labor CGI minions put together for the more recent film. These aliens not only pop people right straight out of their clothes, but the aliens do it while dual-wielding their lasers. And if a lifetime of playing murder simulation games has taught me anything, it's that the dude with two guns is always going to win. Edge on this goes to Spielberg. Next category is Least Probable Escape. In Spielberg's tale, credulity is strained by Ferrier's ability to get onto the highway at all and then find a passageway through the maze of stalled cars and somehow manage to go 60 miles an hour despite the bumper-to-bumper traffic. Don't forget that an EMP shut all the cars down, so how likely is it that he'd be able to get anywhere on the freeway? However, the 1953 version goes something like this. Oh hey, we're in a war zone and everyone's dying, but it's okay, there's a plane here. No need for a runway, we're just gonna take off. Even though I'm a shitty pilot and we're just gonna crash half an hour later. Edge here goes to Spielberg. Next up is Biggest Technical Goof. Now, the 1953 version of this movie shows some kind of amazing technology that shuts down the power, the phone lines, and everyone's wristwatches. But hey, cars still work. They're a lot less complicated than a phone, that's for sure. Spielberg's film, however, had one of the most obvious errors of the last few years of filmmaking. A huge EMP blast to shut down cars, power, phones, everything. And yet here comes a dude with a perfectly fine video camera who's going to get some major screen time just after they spent a solid few minutes explaining how all the tech got shut down. Edge here goes to the original movie. Next category is Best Alien Sounds. Let's go ahead and compare the two movies. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that 1953 sound is totally iconic and instantly recognizable to sci-fi fans, but it's also a stated fact that nothing says it's time to shit your pants like a good bass rumble. So I'm going to give the very slightest edge to Spielberg here. Lastly, we have a category called Dumbest Aliens, and I'm going to tell you straight out this category is a tie. What, you don't take your flu shots before launching your interstellar invasion? You almost take over the world and you get the mumps and die? I mean, we humans have people to tell you that you can't give blood if you had sex in Africa in 1973, but these guys don't have biologists or scientists or a big brother to tell them to get vaccinated before traveling. Is this our first time trying this? Is this baby's first invasion? You know what? I totally think the 2005 take on this sci-fi classic is a worthy remake of the original. Obviously, part of that is the fact that it's not almost 60 years old and thus a bit more palatable to modern taste, but Spielberg brought all of his knowledge of family dramas and sci-fi to bear on this timeless tale, and it bore fruit quite well. 1953 version, we love you and will always remember you as a groundbreaker, but I have to give the edge to one of the most popular filmmakers of the last 30 years and give the prize to one Steven Spielberg. Sacrilege? Perhaps. You can tell me I'm a horrible person in the comments below this very video and let your voice be heard. We'll see you next time on Screen.com's Remake Rematch.